Hello, fellow traders. 'Tis I, the Rumpled One. It's Sunday, August the 25th. The year's 2019. Let's talk trading. Weekly open and gap. I'm doing this video early because I want these traders to get in on these gaps. But remember, you must use money and risk management on these trades. Now, remember, this video is for educational purposes only, and your results may differ from mine. So keep that in mind, and remember, Forex trading is very, very, very risky. So if you need advice, if you're seeking advice, seek it from an accredited financial professional rather than some Yahoo on YouTube, right? Okay, that being said, let's take a look here. The Euro AUD has gapped up. Here's the close. That gap has not filled, and you can see it's moved away from the open by 87 pips. It's time to look to short this puppy. Look for something. Look for a short, but there's some other beauties here. I'm going to just kind of hop around here because I noticed some really great ones. Look at the dollar yen. Look at the New Zealand yen. Another gap down. Look at the Australian yen. Another nice gap down. Now, look at the euro. It's already filled the gap, though. That was looking to go short on that euro. Euro, yen, another nice gap down. Let's look at the franc yen. Gap down. And finally, the CAD yen. So, how do you want to play these? How should you play these? Well, the daily candle, right, it's the same as the weekly. It's red. So you might want to tread lightly. But if this turns green across today's open, you might want to jump in and try and collect the lion's share of that trade. So back to the Euro AUD. In this case, we want to look short here. So let's move on. Okay, for the year, month, week, day, you see it's positive. But once again, you can see that gap. It opened above the midpoint. But you can see here it's in rare air. And especially right here, we can break that point. It should come back and fill. Now, not only should it fill the gap, to look at those pivot points and the opening days for the year and the month. We're working on the opening day for the week right now. But yeah, look for that to break through this low either today, maybe tomorrow, above all the monthly opens, above all the monthly open ranges so far. I sure hope somebody took this inside bar. Here's the weekly inside bar right there. That would have been a huge trade. Huge, 111 pips at the moment, not including the 43 off the top. Huge trade if anybody took that one. And the ranges, it's only what? Well, it's about 2.5 hours into the trading day, and we've already got 4 pairs over 100. Here's that Euro AUD. Looking at it the 1 hour, there you see weekly H1 highest open so far. And I'm just looking to ride this puppy short. Buy zone trade. Pivot point was down here. You would have ignored that if you play the pivot bias. But I guess based on the G7 news, that gap up, would probably be considered a breakaway gap. Now in stocks, when it gaps up, you don't fade like that. On a breakaway, you don't fade the gap. You go with the gap because that means there's something going on and people are trying to jump in on it. But we're going to see if sanity returns to the market and this gap fills. Rat zone, red rats already feasting right here. Oh, that's right. I was going to switch this back to the 1 hour chart. But you can see here, if you looked at the 1 hour, you wouldn't have taken that trade. But dropping down to M15, you can see some clear entries, or even at the M5 level, looking to enter the trade while inside that upper rat zone. Now remember, you don't have to use the rat reversal. You can use any entry method you want. You can just enter. Don't even have to use a method. Just saying if it's here and we've got a nice range, look for it to come back about 20 pips off of that. And so far it's come back 50. That means you would have been up 30 if you took it at the last point. That's not a bad trade. That's why I jumped in early today. Okay, as you can see, here's the weekly pivot. That didn't fill. Let me switch down to H1. Okay, and we've got, where's the daily pivot? Right here's the daily pivot. That didn't fill. Weekly pivot. So look for price to come back. It likes to fill those pivots, but then again, anything can happen and it might not, and that's why we use stop losses. So you can see all these missed pivots got left behind here. But it looks like we just took one out from a while ago. Right there. We took that pivot out finally. Price action. Once again, so simple. 3-ball right at the line. Knowing that if it opens between two lines, chances are during that hour it's not going to stay between those two lines, giving traders an opportunity to take small but steady profits based on statistics. Wick zone in and out. Horizontal line trade. Whoops. Grabbed the wrong thing there. As you can see, there really wasn't much. It was just inside the previous wick zone and out. And since I brought up this particular portfolio, or profile rather, you can see we've had about a 9-pip drop. Einstein line triggering short. Nice trade there. Trying to remember if there was something else I wanted to show you guys. Here, once again, as we take out the highs and lows, we can see what the range is to break out of. So right now it's this H1 candle. Either break out here or it's going to break out there. Why? Because price ranges. Opens. I still got to work on that indicator. Which one was that? 215, 2015 open difference. And here we go. You can see here the weekly open plus half of the ATR. Almost hit that and reversed. So those of you who like to use that 50% of the ATR. And so you had 50% of the ATR 2, 50% of the ATR 5. This was the minimum over ATR between 2 and 14, I think I look at, or between 3 and 14, no, I guess 2 and 14, and this was the max between 2 and 14, giving us a range to look at. Oh, I see, I think I need to put this back to H1. Should probably update, so I could just click there. And now you can see there's the weekly ATR range, and the brown is the daily. And once again, the weekly buy zone. Look for that cross. But I thought there was, hold on, I think there was another chart I wanted to show you guys. I'm going to pause the video. Okay, fellow traders, what I did was I made an update to the TROHL5 indicator. And let me just show you a couple things here. Notice I have two instances. Okay, instance 1, we have indicator tag 0. We are going to show the high, the open, okay. We're going to show the high-low offset, which makes this a rat zone indicator. Okay, 20 pips. And what we're going to do, we are going to shade the rat zone. Okay. So that's how you set that. And you can see we've got the red rat here. And we've got the green rat down here. Red rat, green rat. Okay, now for the other one, you see indicator we made the tag 1. Oh, and for the rat, I forgot to tell you something, but you'll see the difference here. Okay, so we're going to do the wick zone here. So show top bottom true. Okay, so you have to set that to true. Shade the wick zone, you set that to true. And then you come down here, and this is really important. You're going to show period 1 day, 1 bar, and you're going to shift back 1 bar, which you're shifting back 1 day. Okay, and then you will get the wick zone. I'm sorry, you know what? I misspoke. Here's the green rat zone up here. This is the wick zone at the bottom here. Okay, and then you can see here, since they overlapped, which is one of those things I've told you, sometimes that happens. So right here, you see the green rat zone is overlapping with the upper wick zone. So a break to the north side is pretty strong. You got two things going in your favor. So that's kind of sort of how we're looking at those trades. But I will have to upload this indicator, and I can also upload this template so you can play with it. But, you know, real simple stuff here. So, fellow traders, I hope you take advantage of those gaps. There were lots of them today. No reason not to, because you're going to set your stop loss. So the worst thing that can happen is you'll lose what you say is okay to lose per trade. Because you see, it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. So this week, go out there and start draining the banks.